Hello and welcome to TerraFirmaCraft Season 1 Episode 16. And today, it's time for the fun stuff. Well, it's not really the best stuff, but it is enough to say I'm pleased. Actually, I want more granite, because I personally like making my first forge out of granite, and it's just a personal preference to me. I could actually make it out of limestone. It's really... do I want to stay here? I think I do. I mean, I personally like this area. It's one of my favorite maps so far. And this is where I got my granite. This is my granite quarry. I forgot my pickaxe, didn't I? And as you can see, those take a very long time to grow, but really, eventually I'm just going to start leveling this area out and producing quite a bit of, what is it? Wish I had something to cook in here. Oh, speaking of cooking, actually, there's one thing I did want to... So I'm going to need you and you. And I need chisel. Okay. Yeah, I should have what I need. First things first. I need, again, this. I'm going to try not to die again, but dying after an instant in, an instant for not eating right before bed is still kind of, I mean, I could probably just stand there for the entire night and I won't die. But if I try to actually sleep, it really just kills you. And it's right about to turn night again, isn't it? I'm going to try to get a smooth countertop. And I prefer it to be granite. Eventually I'm actually going to start building a house, but... Oh. I forgot my hammer, didn't I? Oh. Easy solution. The granite hammer. Personally, I've never gone to a metal hammer. I don't know why I've never done it. It's just never been high on my priority. I mean, I've made pretty much every tool, even axes, out of, whatchamacallit, out of metal, but I've never made a single, hammer out of metal. Okay, I can't say that. I haven't made a hoe out of, metal either. This is one of the most inefficient ways of getting granite, I've noticed. It's supposed to get better as you get better pickaxes, but it never seems to. I don't want to set my bed on fire. Okay, I should have enough food that I won't die horribly and instantly in the first 2 seconds of me waking up. Okay, I need some fruit, some bread, and meat. And the rest I'm just going to go with meat. Oh, actually, no. Fruit. Because fruit regrows quite easily. Okay, smooth granite. Now, I have yet to be able to actually make a cooking space. And I don't know if I need do I actually need to make a metal knife before I can actually create a cooking space. Because I've noticed that. I can't seem to do that. Shift. Right-click on top of a block with a bowl. Oh. Okay, that makes sense, actually. I don't know why I wasn't thinking about that in the first place. Create 4 bowls. Okay, there we go. I could have really saved myself a bunch of trouble if I would have actually listened. Yeah, you can actually leave those bowls there. Works quite well. Personally, I like going with the fruit, bread, and a little meat. This will actually restore all 3 of them, and it'll use up just a couple ounces from each of them. In fact, I don't have vegetables. So, this one's actually pretty terrible. But my guy's not too good with... By the way, you should be able to stack this stuff, I think. So, I'm trying to get as much as I can. And those items actually stay in that, so don't worry about that. Oh, I guess it doesn't. Oh well. That still won't actually cause me any trouble because I'm just going to convert one of these into my food. And they'll last, I think, a little bit longer than actually your normal food one. And it'll restore all of these, or these 3. So I'm actually in pretty good condition. I've now upgraded to... Okay, for a second there I thought that was a dog trying in there. And I remember at one point I had found a sheep, and I want more sheep, because sheep are delicious and they produce wool, which is also delicious for crafting. So, let's see. By the way, I want to check the decay rates quickly. Decay is really slow if you do this. I've noticed that it's really very nice to have the little setup. I want to get some sheep. Wait. Okay, before I get off track, okay, I'm completely forgetting... Oh. Actually, I need to find sand. I forgot that. I don't have sand. And that is something I actually do desperately need. It's actually quite funny that I keep forgetting that. Basically, sand is a component of glass, as you would expect. But it's also a component in creating stone bricks. So I'm going to create a couple of these. Granite's actually quite nice to work with like this. I'm actually going to take a couple of these and mine them up. Personally, I'd love to find a material that was actually in this granite. But so far, no luck. It doesn't help that I can't actually figure out where the good metals are. I mean, I need a prospector's pick to do that. And prospecting is kind of an annoyance because it gives you a rough estimate and there's also false negatives. And trust me, false negatives are one of the most annoying things in the world. Yeah, I have smooth stuff. The chisel actually has different modes, and I can't remember if I switched the... In fact, actually, I need to change that. Controls. Because I changed everything to be numpad stuff. Okay. Cycle tool mode, M. So, go with this, press M, that creates stairs, slabs, and this is an individual tapping thing, individual chiseling stuff. Can I not place this? No, I can place it, I just don't know why it's not placing. Okay. And since I do have all this, right click with this, and one of the next things is you need to right click with a fire starter. There. As you saw, it flashed up for a second. It is now a forge. This is really good if you're trying to heat up metal, which I'm going to need. One thing I want to do. Now, I want to actually show off this little chiseling mode because it's actually very interesting. You can actually chisel this and tap out anything you want. And there you go. As you can see, it does that, but the main issue is when you try to break this, it breaks it entirely. So this is actually fun with if you're trying to make designs and statues. Actually, statues actually are pretty interesting because you can actually make them. Though, not sure how well I'd be. That one, right click, and it usually sets it up. Let's see. I know this is terrible looking, but actually, yeah, might as well. That was not intentional, but who cares? I'm just having fun now. I can't make any special design with that. Well, I'll mess around with that, because I like the chisel. It's one of my favorite tools, actually. Aside from the sword, but, I mean, of course the sword's going to be one of the favorites, because... Where's the sun? Because I actually want to know where that is. Am I going to be able to make it? I have a feeling I won't. Okay, this is where the area is actually just collapsed, and as you can see, I have, like, really disassembled everything for that, except for the wood, because wood's a pain to actually chop it. And yeah, this stuff, someone actually asked why I don't try to use this to replenish my water. It doesn't work, because I've actually tried. This does not replenish any water, and it is very disappointing. I don't even know what that stuff is good for. Maybe it's good for just being there, as like maybe you can create a bath or something. And you could technically do that. There's actually a very interesting way of messing around with stuff like that. What is it? By the way, that slab mode is actually a little bit different than creating just normal slabs. And I'll show you when I get back. I want that. I really want that. That is bell peppers, I think. Yeah, that's bell peppers. So, right click. And, ooh, I even got a seed. Okay, it's kind of rare to get a seed from a bell pepper. And just getting that is good. This is the vegetable. Meaning, I now have 4 of the primary food groups. Ooh, okay. That's probably because I have moderately high agriculture. Personally, I'm just going to break them all because I want to be able to relocate this, and they grow moderately fast. I'm not going to say fast because they're kind of slow, but better than nothing. And they do, however, produce quite a bit of food once they do get grown. Oh, okay, look at this. This is the berry thing that I was probably looking for. These are strawberries. They are a fruit and very delicious. And I want the bush because, this doesn't produce a lot, but it doesn't really matter to me. I want the bush. I don't want anything else. I want the bush. Get out of my inventory, dirt. Okay, producing a couple of those is good. And that should be... oh. I want that. And again, I'm going to break this. But yeah, that doesn't replenish any water. I probably should be returning. Probably should have started returning in it, anyway. I kind of was ignoring my own methods. Ooh, pig. Actually, that pig might be useful. Can I see... oh, that is a female. Okay. So I can actually use that. Oh. This may get bad. Okay, this has already gotten bad. And I can't run. I literally cannot run. Luckily, I'm actually pretty good at quick firing with that. Okay, I need to actually see where I'm going. Okay, as long as I don't fall into that pit, I'm fine. But yeah, quick firing, I've actually gotten a skill for it. I'm getting pretty good at it. Actually, did any of my fruit produce? Some of it does. Okay, one thing about fruit is not all it won't always produce enough. And by the way, this stuff is very filling, so don't hesitate to eat lots and lots of it, because it will brighten your day and make you more survivable, for lack of a better word. Okay, I'm actually going to sleep the night away after drinking a little, because that can also kill you. Though, you don't seem to lose water as much as food, which is actually the opposite of what real life is. By the way, it sticks with you a little bit longer, so... oh, that is not the right one. I do not want to use that. I actually want to grab some of this. I'm gonna toss that, and fruit is always very good to have. And in fact, I can actually produce one more thing, tossing in a couple vegetables. This is actually probably one of the most efficient foods available, but I need a bowl. By the way, you do not get bowls back. So, I mean, it's understandable, because they don't want you producing just tons of food and then having the bowl as well. But if you're gonna do that, you might as well just give the ability to stack these. Taste, pour. It can actually get pretty good if you get good at cooking. So, I guess that would probably be the reason why it can't stack, is because it's got a different taste. But yeah, you get 20 ounces, which is actually very good for a meal. I actually want to stick with my current meal. By the way, it will degrade, I believe. Where's the one? Yeah, okay, this one. And I can actually eat some of this now, because I want to keep the... by the way, the more materials you actually put into it, the more filling it is, and you can eat that 4 times. So it's one of those things where it's a no-brainer of making it or not. And hooray, some chestnuts grew. I'll actually be harvesting those at some point. Probably do that off cam, because that's kind of annoying. You want to have a ready supply of charcoal before you start working. But I want to plant these strawberries, because strawberries are actually one of probably the best fruits or berries to actually have for early game, like literally early into this series or whatever it is, early in the world's generation, because they'll produce a lot. And there's actually some more fruit there. I don't think you burn if you have that on, but I would not suggest standing on it. One thing I do want to do, poor malachite. Oh, the poor malachite. You're being thrown into a hole. I'm doing that on purpose, actually. I do have a little bit more malachite left, so it would produce just a little bit more copper. And I'm going to produce a few more ceramic molds, because these molds are actually very good to work with. Let me toss that in there. And yeah, for now, see you in the next episode. If you like what you're watching, subscribe. If not, oh well. I've expanded my food at least, and next I'm actually going to have this ready for when I come back, so you'll actually all get to be able to see me horribly mess up and probably destroy tons and tons and tons of delicious copper. So yeah, something to look forward to. I want to produce as much of this as possible. Now granted, these materials, you want to put them in cycles because they do drain the nutrients from the ground, and it will replenish over time, but it's not very quick, nor is the growing of plants. Unfortunately, these are very slow growing. The crops, or the grains, are slow growing, but they produce a lot. So regardless, see you next time.